The foundation, the Australian Literacy and Numeracy Foundation, started 10 years ago, and it was started to bring literacy lessons to those who needed extra help to learn to read, and that of course brought us in contact with Indigenous Australians who needed the most help of all Australians. 5 years ago, it was suggested that the Australian Literacy and Numeracy Foundation work in Tennant Creek. And when we went there, we realised that it was a place where there were many people needing literacy support, but it also provided us with lots of services so that we could do our job really well. So with the immense need that was in Tennant Creek, we have been kept busy and productively busy for the last 5 years.
What about dingo? What sort of dingo?
Wind Kalgili, like kangaroo but a smaller root.
Well, I arrived in Tennant Creek in June to initiate or establish the Community Action Support Program for the Literacy Foundation. And through the Community Action Support Program, we're recruiting university students from the University of Western Sydney to supervise and mentor a core group of Year 11 students at Tennant Creek High School who are mentoring at the primary school.
It's given me the opportunity to see that there are many different students in Australia who all should have the right to learn from teachers who are passionate about what they do.
ALNF has responded to the requests of elders, not only at Tennant Creek but all over Australia, but particularly in Tennant Creek. Their dear wish for their children to be able to read and write in their own language. The elders were right. They understood that if first language is included, it provided relevance of the school curriculum for the students, along with a pathway towards English. The elders are the bridge from the old culture and bringing the culture into the modern world. And that's why they're an essential part of our CAS project.
This is important. Our kids got to learn back their language. It's really sad for us old people when we see our young people just forget about the culture.
This is a joint project with Papulu Apparr-Kari Language Centre at Tennant Creek. The Language Centre is the home of the languages of the Barkly region. And the Language Centre ladies who are there are the ones who have the interest and the skills and the responsibility of first languages in their area.
The Numeracy and Literacy Foundation have been a fantastic mob to be with because they're so enthusiastic about saving the language as we are. So we've been able to now put people in schools teaching the language, which we wouldn't have had before.
The first language is important for the skills towards the future, for maybe for work-wise too. Yeah, that is why it's very important. If they do not know those sort of things balanced together, they will get nowhere.
And all of this work started 5 years ago when Mrs. Nixon and I sat down and she told me what it was she wanted for the young people of Tennant Creek and for her community.
Tangerine selection, my favourite fruit.
I
was thinking of becoming a teacher because I like kids and I like teaching a lot.
Indigenous students respond to Indigenous teachers. I think Tennant Creek education could be transformed absolutely if there were more Indigenous teachers and more Indigenous teaching assistants.
It hasn't just been, oh, you could be a support person in the primary school or you could be a support teacher out bush. It's taken even a step further that some people think, wow, I could be a teacher, like I could be something else. Through this course, we had the Department of Interpreter Services come and talk to the kids as well and say, look, these skills that you've got are valuable and we need you here.
Give some more options. I think a lot of them are very restricted in what they see as being outcomes, job outcomes. So they will look at see what they know, and it's a fairly restricted view. So I think what this does is it gives them that confidence to have their skills acknowledged.
Banana.
This is Tennant Creek, we're living up here.
We've been able to give out the literacy packs that the foundation have given us. They can make a big difference, there's no doubt about it. Some of the kids do it really tough. They don't have a lot of possessions at home, and so when they come to school they don't always have that support that we would like them to have. And the school can help in lots of ways, but any other help that can be given, it just makes that bit of difference.
Thanks.
Our second major initiative in Tennant Creek is SASSI, which is short for the Sole Aboriginal Stitching Initiative. And it's a program where we are embedding literacy and numeracy skills into a little business where the participants are making beautiful craft items.
For a month and a half I walked around the streets and trying to get the ladies to come in and try this. And gradually we had 1 and then 2 and then, and now we have 17, which is a fantastic response. So the mothers come in, then their daughters and then the granddaughters come in.
Well, I'm a bus driver, but in my spare time I do a bit of painting snap.
I'd like to one day go back to my community and start helping out with painting and all that. Good fun, we talk lots, laugh and all that. Love laughing and painting same time.
We've had extremely fantastic development with that program, and it's important now to incorporate and build into it to a further extent the literacies of an enterprise. So this includes things that we've seen already, such as tags, such as brochures, but to go beyond into bookkeeping, invoices, correspondence, as well as just documenting an enterprise.
These two projects are strong and worthwhile, making immense impact on the educational outcomes and the community engagement around education. Literacy is the key to being able to function in the modern world, and first language literacy is the bridge from the old world into the modern world and the pathway to English. And the whole process of reading gives young people abilities for thinking, such as problem solving, critical thinking, inferencing, ability to come to conclusions. And if you have all of those things, then you can function in our modern society. But it's our Indigenous children who are being most left behind and who need the most support to gain these skills.